In order to make the Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez fight, I have an idea. Franchise, baby. Let's talk.
Push the weight in no flex alive is one in the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I got an idea. Just hear me out. You see, often when people make these weird rules that we don't like, somewhere down the line, they will work in the favor of the person or people that you've attempted to isolate. So now we're in a situation, right, where Jermell Charlo, just on his Instagram a couple of days ago, and he called out Canelo Alvarez after Canelo Alvarez had a fight with John Ryder, his doppelganger. I swear to God, those men look alike. And Canelo beat him. You know, he dropped him twice. One of the drops was questionable, but he won by unanimous decision, and it was a lackluster performance. I'm not talking about pay-per-view buys and nothing like that. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, what is Canelo going to do next? He has options, but all of the options that are worth watching doesn't seem to be what he wants to do based off of his behavior. You want to see David Benavidez? More than likely, he's not going to do that because he don't fight Mexican fighters. You want to see Andre? He hasn't done that for, 7 to 8 years. You know, he might sneak around and try and get Berlanga. We don't want to see that. Berlanga's not ready. David Morrell sounds exciting, but I don't think he's ready. Then you got Jermell Charlo. Again, he could have done that years ago, didn't do it. But now you have Jermell, who's undisputed at 154. And he called him out basically at 168. Here's the thing. Here's why the fight makes sense. I'm not really concerned about the weight. You know, both of the Charlo brothers are almost 6 feet tall. They're bigger than him in stature. And I'll say this, you know, Deontay Wilder is the lightest heavyweight today. He's barely making it, and he's leveling people. So I'm not really concerned about that. This should be a slam dunk for Canelo. This guy's coming up 2 weight classes, calling you out your name, and he wants that smoke. And this is right up your alley, man. Just tell him, catch weight, man. Just tell him to come up to full 168 and handle your business. But he hasn't responded yet. You know, there's still time. He could. But in the event that he doesn't, the way to make a better case by these weird standards is for Jermell to request a franchise status. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Let's read what the franchise status is. The WBC introduced the franchise boxer concept and rule a couple of years ago. The franchise boxer is a special designation and privileged status which the WBC may bestow to a current WBC world champion, which Jermell Charlo is, who is also an elite boxer. Jermell Charlo meets those standards, and who has achieved and maintains the highest stature in the sport. Jermell Charlo is undisputed at 154. Under governing rule 3.26, in its discretion, the WBC may, upon a 2/3 vote of a board of governors, designate in each weight category one WBC franchise boxer, Suleiman said. Franchise boxer enjoys special status with respect to his or her mandatory obligations, holding multiple titles and competing for titles in other organizations, as the WBC Board of Governors considers petitions from elite boxers to receive the franchise boxer designation on a case-by-case basis. Is all of this making sense, y'all? Do I need to read any further? But let me say this. A significant adjustment to the rule came about when Teofimo Lopez requested to become the franchise boxer if he defeated Vasily Lomachenko. Teofimo prevailed, and the WBC conferred to him the well-deserved franchise boxer designation in WBC lightweight division. Teofimo Lopez, he beat the second ever franchise champion, which was Vasily Lomachenko, who requested it in order to avoid Devin Haney, but I'll talk about that in another video. Got to remind you and guys like Paulie Malignaggi and everyone that doesn't know better, but Paulie knows better. But whatever. Teofimo requested it rather than to fight Devin Haney, which is why we call Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez ducks for ducking Devin Haney. They tried. They tried really hard. So, it says well-deserved franchise boxer designation in the WBC lightweight division. Well-deserved. Well-deserved. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So now, with all of that being said, y'all can just Google it, what it means. Jermell Charlo meets that criteria, and the reason why I would love for him to petition the WBC for it. First of all, you can't have the WBC strap, which is what he has, and have the franchise at the same time. You got to give one up. So give it up. Give it up. You already won it. Everyone acknowledges that you're undisputed. It doesn't matter. But the reason why I think he should get the franchise status is because he can make the case. Now he can go up to 168 and say, yo, look, Canelo, I'm fighting you for real. And Canelo, what is he going to say? You can't do that? Canelo, you was the first franchise champion ever. You used that to avoid Jermell, his twin brother. For those of you that are finding me the first time and don't know what I'm talking about, when it was Jermell Charlo's twin brother who fights at 160, when Canelo was at 160, when it was his turn to fight Jermell Charlo, the franchise status popped up out of nowhere. And everyone was like, what was that? What is this? The special status. And he went on to do other things, not named Jermell Charlo. That's what happened, family. That's exactly what happened. So we didn't get a Jermell Charlo fight. But now you have Jermell saying, hey, man, enough's enough. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, well, Canelo hasn't looked bad and he aged him out and he wants it now that he didn't look too good against John Ryder, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell y'all about Canelo Alvarez, for those of you that want to act stupid. Anthony Yarde and Sergey Kovalev had a dogfight, which Kovalev came out on top, but he didn't look his best. He was having some legal problems. And he didn't have enough time to rest his body. And he's past it by way of, he's old in boxing years. Canelo went up to 175 and challenged him. Kovalev is a name, hard puncher, but he didn't have enough time to rest. In fact, he called Canelo out for a rematch. He said, but let me get some full rest and we could do it again. Canelo ain't answered the phone. Look, he went up there, he did it already. Now he has that under his belt. I went to 175 and conquered. That was his first stint at 175. He did beat a wounded animal in Sergey Kovalev. And he got full credit for that at 175. Goes down to 168, fights Caleb Plant. He gets full credit for that win because now he's undisputed at 168. Has all 4 belts. Congratulations. Went back up to 175 to fight Dimitri Bivol. Why did he pick Dimitri Bivol? Because Dimitri Bivol in his fight prior didn't look his best. And he was a title holder. He said, you know what? I think I could go up there and snatch that belt. Didn't work out for him. Bivol boxed his face in. Never mind the fact that, to me, a greater threat was Artur Beterbiev at 175. Who I personally think would knock Canelo's, he'll knock him into 2025. And he's a WBC title holder. That fight was a slam dunk to make. He didn't do it. Okay? So now he went back down to 168. You beat up on a mandatory and John Ryder. And again, in boxing today, depending on who you are, mandatories don't matter. You do what you want. Nobody asked to see a third Triple G fight. You gave it to us after you said you wasn't going to give it to us. You did that. Nobody asked for Avni Yildirim. You gave us that. Right? So as a boxing supporter, we're used to not getting what we asked for. So now that's fine. But there's a lot of people that don't like the Charlos. So now you have one, the lighter one, that's undisputed. It's called you out your name. Okay? Now, Canelo, you're already a catchweight king. But this is a slam dunk. This guy is 154. He's campaigning at 154. The respect is out the window. He done called you out your name. Bring him up to 168 and handle your business. I'll give you full credit if you win. I'll give you some credit if you even just take the fight. Because you were supposed to handle these guys a long time ago. And it's only gotten worse. Andre still is undefeated. Jermell is still undefeated. Jermell has a draw and a loss, both avenged by KO stoppages, and now he's undisputed. And don't look now, because enter David Benavidez. And now you got David Morrell, you got Christian and Billy, you got more problems. If getting painted in the corner was a person, it's you, Canelo. So I think that Jermell Charlo should request for a franchise status because he qualifies by way of the criteria. And I want to see if the WBC even considers it. Because if he's told no, y'all know what it's about. Yeah. If y'all let me know what y'all think, Bronx on deck.
Move!